Good afternoon and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're happy to do a high-level introduction of LogHub, the team, the product, the references, our commercial pitch, and what we propose to be the next step on a journey from a single user license to a corporate unlimited license. Thank you so much that you have taken the time to join us today. In order to save the time, I would like to pass very fast over to Jan and then later to Alex, who will do their individual introductions when their part comes up. But before we go to those two co-founders, a short intro of Dirk, Rittik, and Sandro, who also join us on the call, but they don't have an individual part in the presentation. So over to you, Dirk, for a short intro.
Thank you, Dirk. I'm also one of the co-founders, and I'm already since nearly 20 years in the world of supply chain design optimization, and now also within LogHub responsible. Good. Head over to you, Rittik.
Yes, thank you, Dirk. Hi, everyone. My name is Rittik. I work as a Chief Commercial Officer with LogHub. I've been working with LogHub since 1 year after the inception, and previous to this, I was working in the solution designing in Maersk, UPS, etc. So that's it from my side. I'll hand it over to you, Sandro.
Thank you, Rittik. My name is Sandro. I'm responsible for data, AI, and analytics, and I'm Chief Data Analytics Officer. And I have an experience of 8 and a little bit more years of handling data.
Great. Then over to you, Jan, with the high-level introduction of our products. Please go ahead.
Good, perfect. Thanks a lot, Dirk. Perhaps a few words about myself. So my name is Jan. I'm also one of the co-founders of LogHub and CEO. Former LogHub, I was at Locom, now Siemens Digital Logistics, and was there the head of analytics and mathematical optimization. And I have 15 years of experience in the software and analytics industry. Don't lose any additional time, right? So we would directly start with the presentation. And I would like to give you a high-level overview about our product portfolio. So there are two different parts or topics, right? So on the one hand, there are supply chain apps. So this is a Microsoft Excel add-in, and it's really for everyday usage and also to democratize supply chain and analytics within an organization. Supply chain apps consists of 30 different standard apps in the area of supply chain visualization, network design, and also route optimization. It is directly embedded in Office 365, available in the Microsoft Office store. So it's very easy to access and also super easy to get started and very user-friendly. The focus is really to produce fast results and also to create a productivity boost for all the employees that work with supply chain data, mainly in Microsoft Excel. And one special concept, what we also have besides the standard apps, we have also the customized app concept. And so this is perfect to standardize tasks and workflows across the organization. And so this kind of customized apps are private apps only dedicated for your organization. Later on, we will also go into more details. On the other side, besides the pure Excel integration, we also have our supply chain platform. And there we have really the focus also on technology and flexibility. So this is a seamless integration of our services in data science environments like KNIME or Python, right? To build really sophisticated workflows based on the leading edge tool set and also libraries. So there you can combine sophisticated optimization and also simulation solutions or logic like a Gurobi or Cplex solver with well-proven building blocks from our world, right? So from our LogHub world. It is also perfect to build end-to-end workflows to fully automate and trigger the data workflows, right? So that connect to the raw data sources and then directly also connect to operational systems like SAP. And so there's also really the focus also on the full flexibility, also from a deployment perspective, right? So you can deploy this then locally in your private cloud tenant, for example, or also in the public cloud. And so this is the scope also of today's presentation to give you an overview. Now I will hand over to Alex, right, to go into the details and also jump directly in the product, that you have a good overview of what we are doing.
Yes, thank you, Jan. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm the CTO of LogHub, and I'm also one of the co-founders. So I also joined LogHub 7 years ago. Before I joined LogHub, I actually worked for SAP in the development area of the S/4HANA system. Yes, and what I want to show you one more slide, and then I will directly jump in our tool and give you a live demo of the supply chain apps. Yeah, here I want to give you a quick overview of our app portfolio. Like Jan mentioned, the supply chain apps is an Office add-in for Office 365. And as you can see, we have at the moment around 30 different applications or apps. And we want to focus today in the area of the supply chain visualization, the network design optimization, and also the transport optimization. And these different categories you can see also here actually in the different colors. So for the supply chain visualizations are the green ones. Here are then the network design optimization, and the blue one is actually for the transport optimization area. I opened here now in Excel. The first thing how you can actually add us is via the Microsoft Office Store. When you go here on top in Excel on Home, then you have here on the right side the add-ins, and you can access actually the store here via more add-ins. And then later on you can get here the store and you can search for LogHub, and then you can actually add the add-in to your Excel. If you have there later on questions, feel free to contact our sales, and we can also make an additional quick intro where we can help you to set up the solution on your side. Whenever you added the add-in on top here in the ribbon, we have here now this LogHub ribbon. And then when you click here on Home, then we actually start the side pane add-in. How is it called here on the right side? So from a technical point of view, the new add-in concept is working like a web applications. This means nothing is actually run locally anymore. So when we started to develop the supply chain apps, our highest focus was that it's really easy to use. And therefore, we actually introduced a concept that you can do all the apps are set up in 4 simple steps. And I think the easiest way how I can show you this, if we directly go into one app and I can show you the steps that are actually necessary to do the first calculation. Let's use the center of gravity application. So center of gravity application is one of the easiest applications in the network design area. The first step, what we have here on top our input data. I start now with the address mode. We also have the possibility of the latitude, longitude mode. But for the easiness, we just start with the address mode here. Whenever I click on generate template, all of our apps always come with a sample data set. This means you generate a template. As you can see, we created here now a new tab in the Excel environment. And there we see actually the required input tables. For the center of gravity, as I mentioned, it's quite a easy calculation. We only have one input table with our addresses. So this would be, for example, the addresses of our customers. And we assign to each address of the customer one weight. The weight could be, for example, number of shipments. Here on top, you can also directly see with the color coding what are, for example, the required fields. In this case, country and weight is required. ZIP is optional, and is recommended. And the greens one are actually optional. So this is actually the first step in the input data area. And the second step is actually the calculation. in the calculation, you can set some parameters. We say here, for example, let's calculate now 3 centers. Whenever we trigger the calculation, technically we take the data here and send it to our cloud services on Microsoft Azure that are actually doing the calculation for us. Whenever the calculation is done, we open the next 2 steps. The one is the output area and the visualization. Whenever the calculation is done, you will have the possibility to click here on export all to new sheet, and then you have your output tables. So what we did here in the center of gravity, we calculated the geocodes and we also calculated the centers. Then we also put a high focus that it's really easy to understand actually the result that you calculated. And the easiest way how to do this is you can actually open the solution in a map. Whenever I click here on open in map, then I have the possibility to directly jump out of the Excel tool and you have the first contact with the platform. I also opened here already before an additional map, so I can also have always the possibility to merge, for example, different results from different maps. I just use this feature here now, and now what I can actually see here is the result of our center of gravity calculation. What we gave as an input were actually this the customer data. With these customers, as you can see, the size of these customers, they are actually scaled. And in this application, we scale them by the weight that we assigned to the customers. And we told the system to calculate actually 3 centers. And the centers are actually here in red. So here I merged now, for example, this application with an existing map already. This means we have also here in the same route what I prepared before. I have, for example, here some C route. What I did here in creation, I created already a workspace. For example, let's save it under this demo supply chain apps. And here you can actually give the map a new name, center of gravity, and then we can actually save it. And when we want to go on the overview page of the platform, we can click here on this house. And there you see on the left side all of our workspace, how we structured them. Here was our original map, what I saved, and here this is our new map of the center of gravity. You also have the possibility to actually share this workspace, or you can also share separate maps. When you, for example, share a workspace, you have the possibility to give it, for example, to additional team members that you can work together on one project. With actually a contributor right, or what you also many customers of us do, you can actually also share the results with your customers in a viewing right. This means they can only take a look at the maps or at the results, and they also don't need an additional license for this one. To give you a quick overview, which kind of application you can actually use in our tool, I just want to show you a few example maps. Here on the home, you also have this dialog where you can take a look at example maps. And I just want to quickly go through them, and then we come back to the add-in again. So for example, here we have, for example, a result of the area mapper. In the area mapper, this is actually one of the tools of our supply chain visualization area, where you have, for example, some customers, and you can directly see that we have here also some areas. So we support the areas of the whole world. So all relevant logistics areas you can support and do there, for example, a mapping, which customer do you want to assign to a certain warehouse, for example. Then the next map is here, for example, we have here an isochrone visualization. Here we have actually a warehouse in Vancouver. And here I can also show you that you can also interact with the map. If you click, for example, on such a layer, this is now, for example, an area that you can reach with a truck in 48 minutes from this warehouse in Vancouver. Then here another example from our home base from Switzerland. Here we have, for example, all the zip levels that are often relevant to assign certain areas to certain warehouses. Now we come actually to another area, not a visualization. Here, this is, for example, an example of a network design optimization. As you can see, here we have in blue actually the customers, yellow are the warehouses, and in green we have the factories. This means the example that we actually saw with the center of gravity was quite simple, but we can also model way more complex use cases. When we go, for example, now in an application of the Network Design Plus, just to give you an idea, when we generate here now a template, then you can see we have way more input tables. So as the result just showed, we can model factories, we can model warehouses, we can model our customers. You can also model product segments, transport cost rules, and so on. So for now, we don't have the time to really go into the detail. For example, what we can all do in network design optimization. I just wanted to give you an idea that you can also solve more complex calculations than a simple center of gravity. Another feature that we actually have, what I quickly want to show, is you have also the possibility to do always a scenario comparison. So for example, in an app, if you do a certain calculation as a baseline, and then you can save it here with this feature, save scenario. And I just want to actually show you a result of such a scenario comparison. If you run multiple scenarios, how you can easily compare them later on the platform. Therefore, I prepared here, for example, in the workspaces, let me check. Here I have a workspace with some scenario comparisons. What I did here, I did actually 5 calculations of the center of gravity. These are grouped then here in this folder. And then I created here on top, when you click here on create, you have the possibility to create a scenario comparison. And then you can also actually open this scenario comparison. The first thing, what you will see is our scenario comparison dashboard, where we actually compare multiple KPIs here from the input analysis in a standardized dashboard, and also from the output, that you can actually compare multiple calculations of one applications. This feature actually we support for all network design optimization and also for the route optimization area. There's another helpful feature. You have also the possibility to click here on the split view, and then you can, for example, take here a look and compare side by side multiple maps. For example, on the left side, we select now the 3-center. Here we have a 4-center scenario, and then we can, for example, select the maps of the different scenarios that we actually calculated side by side. So this is just a quick overview I wanted to give you about a scenario comparison. So we also have the possibility to actually generate customized app. One of the areas where we did this already before are, for example, the calculations in the transport optimizations or in the route optimization. I just opened quickly a calculation of the Milgren Optimization Plus. In this area, we are actually, this is focused for the strategic or tactical route optimization. And here, for example, if you have a certain individual contract, or we also build customized app for different consultancy companies, if you want to standardize a certain solution, then we have the possibility to build a customized app for you. This is only visible in your company then. This is, for example, in the area of the route optimization where we did this. I just want to quickly open a result of such a calculation. So here it's also important to understand every distances that we calculate and every route. This is all based on street distance. So we have an engine for the geocoding engine and also for the street distance calculation for the whole world behind. That is always directly included in the package. Here, I think it makes more sense if we switch quickly to the dark mode. So what we actually calculated are routes now in the area of Zurich. And here you actually can see then the individual routes. And you also have the possibility to actually visualize, for example, an elevation chart.
Yeah. Perhaps one comment regarding this, right? What is also a very typical use case for a customized app is, for example, how to evaluate shipments with costs, right? It could be that you have standardized methods within your organization, and for example, everybody should apply the same rules, then this is also a very good use case that can be covered by a customized app, right? So then you can manage centrally the cost parameters or the cost matrices, and decentrally everybody is using the same method or approach how to do this. Just to give you an additional idea here.
So we covered now the area of the supply chain apps. Now we actually want to give you a short introduction in the supply chain platform. So often you have the case that you, for example, have to recalculate certain scenarios, or that you have to prepare your data in a certain structure to fill it actually into our apps. And this is why we actually choose the platform KNIME platform. This is actually an open source platform. And we integrated all of our nodes that we actually could do in the Excel calculation into KNIME. So this means whenever you use case where you get some customer data and you have to do first some data cleaning and some validation or some additional logic, then you can actually use, for example, KNIME with this integration, or you also have the possibility in our integration to integrate it directly in Python with our pip packages. So what I just opened here is a quick a workflow where, for example, I directly connected a data set from our platform. I have here a table, and for example, what I calculate here is a similar calculation of multiple calculations in the center of gravity. So such a node from us is here, for example, the center of gravity node, and also this read dataset, write dataset node. So for example, I can reset this here, the whole pipeline. And whenever the pipeline is modeled, the only thing what I actually need to use this node is we need to generate the API key on our platform. And then you are actually ready to directly integrate our nodes and calculation in this KNIME platform. Yes. So yeah, this is what I wanted to quickly show you a KNIME workflow. As you can see, now the calculation gets done from the center of gravity. Whenever he is done, he ends the loop and continues until he is done with our 3 center calculation or with this 3 scenario. Obviously, you can also handle a way higher data load here in KNIME, and really great tool if you want to automate certain thing, or if you want to rerun some data cleaning tasks.
What is also then quite typical behind such a process, right? You can for sure then also save the results in the data set, but then also based on this data set, you can build, for example, a dashboard or a cockpit in a BI technology like Microsoft Power BI, and really have there then, so this end-to-end approach, right? How to have also a solution that you can also then use long term for a certain kind of use case. Yeah, so I would also like to give you a first overview regarding our customers or our references. So we can basically split them in 3 main categories. So there we have the big logistics providers, right? So like CEVA, Schenker, Kühne + Nagel, and so on. Then we have also the manufacturers and retailers, right? Those big complex supply chains, most likely or quite often also with their own planning departments who are using then our solutions. And last but not least, we have also the consultants, especially also the supply chain consultants, who can use them really on a daily basis. And so there we also see a trend, right? So that more and more consultancy companies are also using this really also decentrally, right? So they give access to lots of users, also to enable them, right, to be able to also work decentrally with these kind of analytics tools. So this brings me also to the next slide, to our packages, and there I would also like to give you a first overview. Besides the single user packages, we are offering 4 different multi-user packages called Basic, Business, Premium, and Corporate. So the differentiation between them is for sure the number of named users we have included. Starts with 3, ends at Corporate with unlimited. And then also for sure the pricing is different. To give you an example, right, regarding the corporate, so this starts with 5,000 Swiss francs a month. And there we have included an unlimited number of named user licenses in this organization. Besides that, we have included all standard apps. So that's included. We have also included the network design simulator. It's also a very interesting tool. We did not have the time, right, to go into the details. Contact our support or sales team, then we can also give you their detailed overview. It's a multi-level network design tool, right, to do also network design studies in multi-level networks. What we also included, for example, in the corporate package, and what is very important is also the training concept, right? So we will for sure in the beginning provide you a private training based on your uses, and we have also integrated a public training with regular training sessions to the different sections that also Alex explained you, right? Supply chain visualization, network design, route optimization, and so on. So everybody can then also participate with a pro license. And so then so this customized app concept is also very central. There we also included 10 man days of development time in the corporate package. So this should be enough for a customized app with a standard complexity. And besides that, we have also included 25 days of for functionality, what we included there. And yes, also the hosting of 2 customized apps is also included. Perhaps also one comment regarding the API calls. When you would like, for example, to use our services in KNIME or in Python, you need also API credits, right? So when you call a function, this is also unlimited under the assumption of a fair usage policy, also in the corporate license. Another very nice feature is also the Office 365 auto sign up, also very important from a security perspective. So this means the complete access to the supply chain apps is directly linked to your 365 account. So this is not a must, but an option, and also then especially chosen for from lots of corporate customers. What we would also like to do, especially with corporate customers, is we would like to have regular feedback calls. So this means typically we have on a monthly, quarterly, and also yearly level, then alignments regarding the functionalities that we then also share our development plan, discuss also issues, or also get very valuable feedback from our customers that we then also try to include in our development pipeline and roadmap.
There's then maybe one more thing to add. If this is actually interesting for you, then we would like to offer you actually a testing phase. So what we always recommend, so we would do one additional call whenever you selected the relevant user who want to test supply chain apps or also the supply chain platform. We make one additional call that we help you to set your the tools up that you can get started. And then we normally recommend that you test them for 2 weeks with your own data and with your own use cases. Then we normally do a Q&A session. And then after 2 additional weeks, we have an additional feedback session. You can actually make your decision with which part, if you want to go forward, and with which package and which size.
Yes, exactly. So perfect. Thanks a lot, Alex. And also thanks a lot to you for taking the time. Hopefully you get a good first overview, right, about our product portfolio. And looking forward to hear from you and happy to support you in the future. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.